My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Slice and Dice, where we are starting our fourth loop in this blessed run. Level 61, we have Treasure Seeker, so we have +1 to item quality as well as an extra item slot. Bolt Spell, so we have the ability to cast 5 damage for 3 mana. Jewel Chalice at the start of the first 4 turns, +1 mana, and Eye Clay, so we just get the clay item at the very start of each fight. Start of each run, rather. Infinite Chalice at the start of each turn, +1 mana, at the start of every 4th turn, +2 mana or Survival Specialist, +1 to incoming healing, +2 to empty max HP. It's worth noting the Infinite Chalice is replacing our Jewel Chalice. We will not get both. I'm leaning towards the random tier 4 here almost. But I also do like the idea of upgrading the Infinite Chalice and possibly upgrading it again, even. I just don't want my fights to go that long. By the time they've gone that long, usually with enough buffs upon the enemies, we're already kind of having a tough time. I'm taking the random tier 4. +1 reroll across the board. Very, very happy with that. I mean, if we can just kill the Gnoll on the... I mean, we immediately already can kill the Gnoll on the top line. Divine Goblin? Statue! Oh, really? I'm doing it. I'm taking the statue immediately. Statue pick, we've unlocked the statue item, or statuette item, which blanks out your middle line and gives you 6 max HP. If I had that at the moment, I'd be able to put that on the statue with a dupe. Sadly, we do not. Let's get... Ooh, I guess the Acolyte is going to have to lose a little bit of their healing potential here. But that's okay. It's all in service of a good outcome here, because we have the ability to immediately bolt one of the targets. I'm going to use a cut against my own statue here and try and set up for a very easy removal on each of these next turn with very small inputs. Yeah, so... it's enough to kill that target. I mean, this is okay, but I should get the cultist to continue rolling just in case. So I can use cut and take out the top line, and then next round, just immediately blow up the enemy. Thank you, Jewel Chalice. Wandify. Add single and +1 to the 2 right sides, and Blessed Water. Replace the rightmost side with Heal 2 Vitality. I mean, Wandify is good. It and the clay would give me the ability to have the Acolyte generate 3 mana in a single turn. Blessed Water does give the statuette something to do, but it's with literally only one of their spaces. Let's take the Wandify. Heavily focusing a boar out of existence here seems to be the right play. Let's do 5 and then 2, finish you off, and then start working on the crone. Unfortunately, the croners dealt 3 damage to the thief on the top line, and then when they take 3 more damage, they are also going to deal more damage to the thief. So I'm going to need to defend the thief a little or heal them. I actually don't think this is going to work this turn. Yeah. I end up killing the thief if I do it. You know what? I'm fine with that. Thief has 3 health in the next round. It's not much less than they would typically. Maiko and Faye. I mean, Faye with the ability to do the heal 3 boosts. Pretty huge. So has access to these weakens. Very, very effective against the Alpha. I'll take the Faye. Damage on the Thief is good enough. Cultist, obviously you need to push for some mana here. Faye with a heal, and... Actually, I don't think that's good enough for you. So I should have continued to get the Faye to roll there. Unfortunately, I did not. So now I will just settle for it. I don't really intend on killing the wolf in the middle line right now. Oh, actually, no, I can do that. We use a single bolt against the wolf, and then we just kill the bones on the top with a cut and 2 damage, freeing us up to do 3 damage to the Alpha. This is going to be a little difficult to keep the Fae alive here, unfortunately. Cultist should definitely heal. Fae, also heal up the Cultist. Give them a little bit of opportunity to possibly generate mana next turn. Okay, Brigand, you are more than cleared for an exerting turn here. We'll settle though. 2 and 1. The bolt follows up for the kill on the Alpha though. Autumn Leaf and Enchanted Shield. At the start of each turn, Self-Shield 1. I mean, at the start of each turn, Self-Shield 2. Not bad. Tier 3 heroes get -2 max HP. I think I've already given them more max HP. So this will replace Arthritis, which is the -1 max HP to them. And Faye, generate 2 armor at the start of each turn. Well, actually, I kind of want to put that on the Cultist now instead. Yeah. Noting that they are self-damaging consistently. I just know that. I could even set my clock to that. Thief would have been lovely if you rolled damage. That said, Bolt and Burst already takes out the top liner, making the second Flea. We are revealing a Whirl and a Ranger. I mean, Ranger with the ability to do ranged damage, obviously. Seems pretty good. Has the ability to engage, so double the effectiveness of that ranged strike if it got boosted. Also can get super huge effects out of the Cleave being boosted. Although, same can all be said for the Whirl, who has Cleave on their top and bottom side, as well as 1 damage from all enemies. I'm gonna take Whirl here. My reasoning being that our damage isn't bad right now, but our defense is, and the Whirl does have the ability at least to cleave a defense. And I kind of want to tend my orange class more defensive if possible. Yeah, Faye, I mean, sure, weaken someone. Although, hang on, I suspect if we do this in the right order, it won't matter. Burst, and then Bolt, the bandit runs, Ritual Dagger, and Viscera. So Viscera does give us replace the mill side with 0 damage, flesh, and pain. So for the statue, that is, you know, deal 16 damage and die. The only problem is if the statue ever dies in a fight, it comes back in the next fight with 3 HP. So I would need to have the ability to make this not kill them. By shielding them. Who can really afford to shield them? Just spells, basically. It's also Ritual Dagger, replace the rightmost side with revive the 4 top most defeated allies in death. I'm gonna take the random 3 or 5. Idol of is +1 max HP for each consonant in your name, and if I give that to the cultist, we can have a ridiculous amount of max HP on you. So I guess now I am just aggressively rolling the cultist every single time to try and get as much mana as possible. I mean, to be fair, not really much of a departure from how I typically treat the cultist. I will settle for 3 there, though. We can continue to push with the Fae there. But maybe we shouldn't have. I'm actually gonna take out the illusion that's targeting the thief and use a cut to stun the Cyclops this round. So we get a petrification on cultist, but that should not be... No, it was. 2 sides were petrified, unfortunately. So we do lose our damage side there. Nice. Let's pump the AoE from the whirl and then just murder the Cyclops. We do find Dabbler. Fiend gives us access to a little bit more AoE as well. A little less dense of the mana generation, but more spread damage against the enemies. Dabbler with the ability to do 4 healing to a target. I mean, both the statue and the cultist will happily take that at most points. Okay. Ah, but who does the cultist upgrade into if not the Fiend? I'm not sure because I need the Dabbler. 3 damage immediately from the Dabbler? Yeah, I don't turn that down. Whirl with 1 damage in AoE kills the bones. Faye, you can even get some more AoE out of that through the Whirl. I would love some dense mana right now. Thank you. Because now I can bolt the Slime Queen, then deal 3 damage to you. And now the Whirl's 3 damage AoE sets up for a cut to kill the bones on the top line, revealing another Slimer. So I get a Slime Queen and both Slimers and a Slimelet all out on the board right now. This isn't good for slow playing it. Not even slightly. If I kill one of the Slimers, I manage to survive. I just need more mana again, realistically. Great work, cultist. Because we can use a bolt to take out one of the Slimers, bolt to take out the Slime Queen, and then 3 damage takes out the Slimelet on the very bottom side. Sure, I'll even use the 2 damage burst to take out one of the Slimelets that remained. Or rather, that had been summoned that round, so certainly hadn't remained long. I'm so pleased with how much mana the cultist can generate. It's so value dense. Goodbye to the Slimelets, and hello to level 69. Ladder. Replace the middle side with the hero above's base. So that means the statue would get access to a 3 damage side. You can also have Heart of Light. Replace the 2 right sides with Heal 3 Cleanse. Heal 3 Cleanse does sound really nice. neither of them sounds like the transformative item I want for the statue. I'm taking the heals reclass. It's good enough. Plus max HP for each A and E in the enemy's names. That's going to give additional HP to pretty much everyone I'm fighting right now, but I'm okay with it. Heart of Light upon the statue. Love to see that AoE from the whirl. 3 damage from the Dabbler to follow it up. Cultist generates as much damage as possible, thankfully. Okay. I'm going to use 3 damage on this grave, so that that excess damage is not wasted when I bolt this bones. Unless I want to use different spells somehow. I guess I don't even care about that bones this turn. This grave is attempting to summon 2. It should definitely be my priority. Let's use a cut. And then 2 pings to the grave, I think. No. The other grave is trying that same business now. Don't you see how I handled it last time? Let me get some more AoE from that whirl, thank you. Huge 3 damage AoE. Setting up for a bolt to the top bones, and to the next. Single burst for the remaining grave. That easily could have taken us down. With a different set of characters, that fight could have gone absolutely nightmarishly for us. Thankfully, the cultists just cannot stop generating mana for the life of them, but that is very much their setup. And obviously the whirl's AoE is certainly coming in handy there. Sparky and Glacier. The ability to kill an enemy on exactly 4 HP is getting a lot more impactful. Should take Sparky. Although my mana generation just got garbage. Sure, let's give the Fae 2 HP at the start of each turn, and Dabbler, you can have some more max HP. I guess Whirl also gets 4, Dabbler gets 5, Sparky gets 5 as well, actually. Sparky, you get the 5. There you go. Wow, they're really set on killing that Fae, eh? 2 mana from the Dabbler gives us the ability to start using Zap or Bolt. Bolt is always going to be a happy choice there for us. A Bolt as well as 1 damage in AoE does kill one of the courts on field from the Whirl. There's some AoE from the Whirl. I'll lock that happily. Sparky, I really would prefer you generate mana to use... Well, not use mana, but... stand pretty next to mana, I guess. So... here we can prevent the... killing of the Fae. Although this court still inflicts all of their signs with single use next round. Obviously, Sparky should do 3 damage to a target first. And do it to the other courts. We lose Dabbler immediately. Yeah, I mean, that'll be what happens when you completely blank out on your Fae. I managed to keep the Fae for the next round, generating extra armor for themselves. They are being targeted this turn, although it doesn't look like it because they're not taking any damage. They are taking the weaken impact. Well, and the Fae with the combo there. I'll take any mana that the Sparky even pretends to give me now. I'm gonna prematurely kill the Ludus on the top side just with the burst there. Minimize targets on field. 3 damage from the whirl is definitely reasonable at this point. Faye is still being heavily threatened. I mean, statue, I would love if you would actually roll your, you know, heal cleanse side at any point here. It would actually be very, very, very helpful. Super effective. Great work. I can't really keep the Fae alive with any other actions right now, so. Wow. Sparky statue really, really betraying me. I mean, the Fae themselves obviously couldn't roll anything. I was going to accept that round. Yikes. 2 targets going into the next fight. Really, really battered. Worse for wear. Thankfully, I know I don't really need to push too heavily on that turn. We get enough to finish the target off with a burst in the next. Infiniheal and Water. So Infiniheal replaces the 2 right sides with Heal all sides, retaining their original value and keywords. We could give the statue Heal 3 to all and Cleanse. There's also Water. Change the middle row. +1, -1, +1, -1, which we could also double the effect of. So we could get 3, -2, 3. The Whirl having a 1 damage side, but 3 damage to everyone, as well as 3 shield in cleave. That's pretty wild. Obviously, the Fae having the ability to... Well, actually, the Fae could even get the heal boost side ridiculously here. We could drop the enchanted shield. The Fae could have a triple weaken side as well as a quintuple boost side. I'm going to take the Infiniheal here as a defensive measure because the statue is not really capable of doing much else. I am worried Infiniheal is going to just kind of drift into the abyss and not become useful for us at all pretty soon as well. I'll try and just keep an eye on that. Dabbler, you may lock mana. Everyone else needs to continue rolling though. Well, 1 damage to where everyone sets up the ability to kill the Wiz in the back line with Zap. Statue really just for the life of it. Again, it's a third every single time I roll. Every single time I roll with the statue. I think it's like their last 18 rolls they can't hit. Something absurd like that. Zapping the Wiz, but we will lose the Whirl for it. Would have been good if we could have gotten a heal and cleanse on some targets earlier. This seems like a thing they would have liked. Ridiculous. At this point, the statue is actively doing this to screw with me. I'm certain of it. Wow. What if I just had what if I just had the twins, right? And they are both trying to do heal 3 to all ally cleanse. And self-shielding by 2 at the start of each round. What about that? Well, they can't self-shield by 2. They could self-shield by 1 because I have to have the Infiniheal as well as the Heart of Light on them. Sharpshot for some range damage as well as the ability to execute 5s. Very important because we will lose Sparky eventually. I'm going to take the Sharpshot here. Don't think I need to change anything else still. Hey, statue. Do you want to just roll? Thank you! Oh my god, I didn't think you could. Execution from the Sharpshot as well. I would really like the ability here to buff the whirlwind. Obviously, with the boost side would have been incredible. So 5 damage straight up for a target. Let's take out the most damaging of the bones on the enemy side. 1 damage to everyone in the field. Great. So now I set myself up with the ability to zap the top bones. That kills the next bones. And now we just have the 2 bones on the bottom line as well as the rotten to deal with. I'm just going to weaken the bones that was trying to hit Sparky. Seems as good a choice as any other there. Well rolls max damage this round for a single target. Not what we're really looking for. Statue, thank you. Sharpshot also gets the ability to execute a target. We get some AoE and we get some buffs. Actually, Sharpshot, you don't want that side anymore, I don't think. Beautiful. The Whirl, doing 4 damage to every target on the field, actually kills both of the bones and leaves just the rotten. I'll even proactively zap the enemy here. You have no way out of this rotten. I only have to deal 5 damage this turn. I'm gonna find that in just what I already rolled. 73. Stasis, your sides cannot change, and Erythrocyte. Replace the middle side with shield 0 flesh. So yeah, that is a huge shield out of the statue. Erythrocyte. It's also stasis, your sides cannot change. Who wants their sides not to change? Like, I guess the Fae, then I would not lose the selfless side. But that's not like dramatically impactful. I'm gonna take the Erythrocyte and I'm gonna put that on the statue. Archery training. Archery and sniper get +2 to all sides. Oof. Frail middle hero. If you've gained no shields this turn, ×2 to their incoming damage. I can't shield them well. I'm taking a random tier 1. Boss armor. Actually, I am completely fine with this. Boss armor gives the enemies shield 2 at the start of a first turn in specifically the boss fight. Up against 2 snakes, a ghost, and a slate. Ooh, ability to execute. Oh my god, wow, we actually just high rolled immediately. So. Wow, this is a toughie actually. So I think I boost Sparky? And then do... Wait. Yeah, 1 damage to all of these targets, then Sparky kills the ghost before it does any damage to anyone. I use a single burst to set up the slate for an execution. And I can just bolt another character now. I mean, statue, defend yourself. Is there any way they run? No, of course not. But my gosh, we were not far off. Shaman and Poet. Shield 1 cantrip selfless. So heal 1 to everyone on cantrip. No, honestly, I'm leaning towards keeping the statue here just so that I still have access to Erythrocyte. These two are fine. Erythrocyte is huge. But in addition to that, well, actually, the Shaman is offering us the ability to cleanse and cleave in AoE for the spell, but I don't really need that spell. Like, I kind of want to keep the Fae and the statue here, which is really heartbreaking, because then I could get an upgrade on the Sparky or the Whirl. That still would have gone through. I think I should just take the Shaman as they currently stand. Gambler's Ace, Blessed Ring, and First Aid Kit. I don't think we need any of them. I think I'm gonna give the Whirl the Cleave single-use side. I just need a little bit more defense, especially noting that 2 cores and an ogre are going to be very heavily targeting individuals, and the ogre is, of course, going to be doing AoE damage. Big defense there from statue. One of the most impactful sides from the Shaman as well, 2 mana. Sharpshot, well, you can put some targets in the back line with that, certainly. Hey, very glad I pushed through there. So, 1 damage to everyone on field. Right? And then Bolt and Execute takes out the Ogre immediately. I heavily defend Sparky, and now it's just 2 core. They can try and run to the back line, but I'll follow them there. I'll hit the other core and then immediately target them. Yeah, I'm actually just gonna play this safe. No need to get fancy at all, just take out one of the core, leave the other one for the next turn, continually grow the Shaman's side there. 75 takes us to Singularity with Fairy Dust. Replace blank sides with +3 mana. I mean... oh, that's difficult. I do really like mana. There's also Singularity, improve the 2 right sides with +2. It's a very, very useful target for duping. I'm gonna take Fairy Dust. Realistically, anyone else can kind of hold the items that Statue is currently holding. Like, Sparky could easily just hold them. Obviously, probably doesn't want to take the Erythrocyte, to be fair. That stays on the statue. But yeah, Sparky, you get some decent max HP, and now you've got these 2 sides that don't completely suck ass. And of course, statue is actually generating mana, something that Sparky doesn't do. Looks good to me. Especially when I really need access to Bolt, like a fight here. Ooh, charged and charged. This should be good. So 3 and 3, and then as soon as I bolt the center, they're gonna run. But unfortunately that makes targeting the snipers in the back line with the actual charge shots very difficult. By difficult, I do mean not possible. Thankfully, not much of an issue for us. The Sharpshot issues a death, and the Zap, well, was about to follow up, but we'll use the burst instead. Eccentric and Keeper. I mean, Eccentric could just... How much do I really use the AoE damage from the whirl anymore now that I can't boost it? Not commonly at all is kind of the answer to that. The Eccentric is going to be low level, but they would have 3 mana spaces, and then I could give the statue back other tools later. Turn down both upgrades here. I think Whirl needs an actual damage upgrade, not one that's only doing 4 damage, you know, a third of the time on a roll. Tyrantis. Huge impact you're proposing to us right now. I would really like Sparky's AoE. Whirl is going to have difficulty doing much effective this turn. Do wonder if I should just lean in and take the growth side with the Shaman in particular. Great, Sparky does manage to self-heal here. Hey, and Whirl does get the big defend as well. That's what I was continuing to roll for. Okay. So Sharpshot has the ability to immediately execute someone right now, and doing 3 damage to someone, and then Zap also has the ability to immediately execute someone. So let's start taking out spiders, I guess. There go one. There go the second one. Your turn. It's night and day, a run where you actually have decent access to cleanse versus a run where you don't. Absolutely dramatic in its impact. Okay. Thank you muchly, Sharpshot. I mean, your ability to execute people is still, like, by far the best thing you are capable of doing right now. So I do need to kind of push as far as possible to see if I can get it. I can use Burst and Zap to take a target off the field. Follow up with another Burst to take out the final bones. Now it's just you and me, Tyrantis. I get consistently cleansed. You have no summonables on the field. It's our time to shine. I mean, Statue, I do want you to generate mana, so the Erythrocyte there is not super helpful. I also probably want to get mana from the Shaman right now. Setting up a mana gain side for the Sharpshot. Oh, actually, I can do charged on both the Sharpshot and the Sparky now. Take damage. Much damage again. Start with a single bolt there. Tyrantis only has 10 HP remaining. They will be killing the Sharpshot on the top line as soon as they take any more damage. We already have the kill here, so Sharpshot, use yours first, and we'll bolt the remainder. Eye of Horus, +1 to all sides, and we can just dupe that straight up. No. Someone is using the clay, thankfully. I mean, Angel Feather, yeah, I'm definitely not using that here. Let's take the Eye of Horus. Lead Weight must be equipped to someone replaces the top and bottom sides with blank. Small bonus. All tiny enemies, such as the Archer, get +1 to all sides, replaces a small bonus that they already have, where they have +1 to all of the middle sides. So yeah, this is just evening that out. I'm happy with that. Sharpshot, a little bit of defense, and the Eye of Horus can now enact itself on the whirl. The whirl with the ability to do 3 damage in AoE, as well as 5 shield in AoE. Pretty huge hits. Wiz, Fanatic, and Spiker. Well, gets the ability to do 3 damage to the Wiz in the back line, immediately invalidating them. Love to be able to take out the Fanatic this turn too. Ooh, the Shaman rolling damage there certainly helps. Let's have a look if we are close enough just yet. There's the 3 in AoE, and yes. We can set them to just bolt for the death. Single Wiz and Spiker again remaining. But here we have, yeah, just absolute ridiculous abundance. We could have killed them in any which way there, but we should have ended up choosing Leader and Mimic. Next available options here. The Whirl would have the ability to give the middle side 4 damage duplicate. Is that good enough? They also have the ability to smith other targets on the field, though not anyone else has that much damage that I want to smith. Kind of want to turn down the upgrade again, especially considering the world now has AoE buffs. I'm going to turn down the upgrade again. No more upgrades to my characters. How dare you offer me upgrades? Upgrade the Sparky, please. Still fine with the Sparky getting upgraded. The Sparky is mostly defined by their items right now. I don't really consider myself as having a Sparky on my team at all, actually. I have a void into which I throw some items occasionally. Well, you with the AoE this round is so much more impactful than anything else. Thank you. Okay, so 5 damage to a single target from the bolt kills the zombie. So 3 damage AoE there at the very top as well. I would prefer to execute one of the snipers in the back line. Just noting that I already have the ability to kill the wisps in the front line if I want to. They should run. Yep. And they do. Level 79 reveals top duplicate and fangs. Add invigorate to the top and the bottom sides. +1 for each HP you have healed this turn. Not a very common thing for us to do. Possible, but not common. Top duplicate is add duplicate to the top side this turn. I mean, that on Whirl replacing the Wandify, it's fine-ish. Again, not incredible. I'm going to take the random tier 10. Diamond Skull. +2 max HP. Upon death, +1 to all allied sides this fight. I almost wonder if I should let the world die to give +2 to everyone else, because it's copying the clay. No, the world needs to survive to take those effects. It's really like the Shaman that can die. And that's just +1 to everyone at that point. I'm fine with it though. Especially considering the Sparky is very much fulfilling the healer role. What? Roll all sides with 3 pips. We've unlocked an item, the Ordinary Triangle. All sides that have 3 pips get exactly +1. Yeah. Neat unlock right there. Yeah, I guess I will continue to push on the Sharpshot here. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We can take the Hydra out this round. That's all I really need to heavily focus on. Thankfully, we cleansed a lot of the negative impacts coming in from the enemies otherwise, so it should be relatively simple at this point to just kind of shut them down. Then 5 and 4, 2, and set up for a single bolt. Do you run with 4 HP, Banshee? No. Alas, we'll have to make him run the old-fashioned way. Level 80. Up against Hexia. Ugh. Sparky offers us Kronos as an upgrade? Yeah, I think that's an upgrade. Especially the access to the spell. Oh no, Kronos would have the ability to dodge on the bottom line, but I'm gonna lose that if I put the Infiniheel combo on them. So what if I gave you Diamond Skull, and then Shaman... I mean, I will also even give you more max HP. And then Shaman, you have the combo. You have the touch, you have the power. Because Kronos really needs to roll the dodge effect so that I can actually start using my spells. I guess the statue can also defend them manually. World definitely still needs access to all this AoE so that I can take out the imps and bones. Executing a target's incredible. Kronos does get the dodge. I also get some mana, so I will be able to cast some stuff this turn. Cool. Well, I mean, I really do want you to do AoE damage if you can, but killing a target right now, instantly, pretty sick. Pretty sick. Unfortunately, right now, I cannot keep the Shaman alive. Yeah, because I can't target you with that. That's selfless, unfortunately. Okay, I'm going to need to look into who I'm actually going to target with a lot of these effects then. Because that execution seems obvious to me immediately. Ritual defend our bottom line. Unfortunately, Shamans still can't target themselves. Yeah, I'm losing the Shaman in this first round. Unless I double defend them. They will have inflicted pain, which means I will need to heal them next turn before I can then use their AoE. Yikes. Oh god, that imp double summoned. I was so focused on other things that I managed to miss that. Oops. Thankfully, I have enough mana to... Yeah, to ritual to keep the Shaman around, and then you can heal afterwards. Field kept very competitive. Execute the bones that is otherwise doing the most damage here. 2 damage to everyone on the board. And then if I use a burst to take out the imp on the bottom line, I can prevent losing Whirl yet. Unfortunately, Hexia has summoned Demon. Did not manage to slow that. Ooh, a statue with a giant defensive role for the Kronos. Unfortunately, we also won't have much mana to actually have the Kronos use, but the Kronos does need that defense anyway. Shooting the bones on the top line immediately kills the imp next to it, saving a lot of hassle for us. It's the AoE. I'll do the 5 damage from the whirl as well. Kronos, please hit a useful side. Thank you. It's a very useful side. So 3 damage to the bones, as we said before, kills the bones and the imps on the top line, or bones and imp. Statue is currently only being petrified by 1 because, again, of the heal 3 cleanse. Thankfully, we have access to that. Otherwise, Hexia would be way worse than they even are, and they are bad already. I do need to remove the demon as well, so I'm going to deal damage directly to it and then bolt it. Noting that Whirl would not survive the attempt to target Hexia that turn. Shaman, good roll. Sharpshot. Do you want to just... Actually, the statue is also fine on their side at the moment. Sharpshot, do you want 3 damage? Is that good enough for you? No, you can still cantrip damage out of the copycat side, and indeed, immediately you do. Well, any damage in AoE is already good enough for you. Kronos, you have enough health that I actually don't think I need to worry about defending you first. Repeat. Who wants to repeat right now? Anyone? Definitely taking the growth side of the Kronos. Incredible. Okay. Get a little bit more mana. We have the ability to bolt the enemy 3 times right now, I believe. Before we do that, I'm gonna... Or rather, before we get the rest of our mana, I will make sure to bolt the enemy while the Kronos is taking damage and then heal them back afterwards. Do I want to hold off for the possibility of using Ritual next turn? Sure, let's do it. 5 mana from the Kronos. Huge hit right there. 1, 2... Yeah, we're getting exceptionally close to the kill. And that's it. 1 bolt, 2 bolts. And Hexia gets executed, taking us to level 81. Is this the highest I've been? I think this might be the highest I've been. We feel weaker. Sure we do. We're up against a boar and a goblin immediately. Shiny! +2 to item quality. You know what? I'm not even gonna bother looking at the other one or even saying that there might be something random behind the tier 4 blessing. We all know I'm gonna be taking shiny at the very start of the next run. That said, for the moment, my name is Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slice and Dice. Series playlist is up in the top left. YouTube recommendation down below. Streaming past and the names of people so generously reporting in public on patreon.com/actuallyplays at or above the thanks here. And a special thanks this episode to Sorathil. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves and hopefully we'll see you all next time.